lot of Ferrari's success has to be attributed to Lampredi. He was the chief engine designer and builder. He started out with the V12, made the V12 famous Ferrari. But in 1951, they also realized that the Formula 1 world, the Formula 2 world, and the sports car world was going to head in a different direction. That direction was four-cylinder motors, would you believe it or not. The whole concept was that if you had a big bore and you had big valves, you had less friction with only four cylinders moving up and down in the bore. The crankshaft could be that much shorter. There was that much valve train to go up and down. There was that much less friction, therefore they could get more horsepower out of it, losing less to friction. It was a simple idea and an idea that obviously worked. In 1952 and 3, their four-cylinder motor, the 2-liter, won 2 world championships for Ferrari. But by 1957, these motors found their way into the Mondales. But by 1955, Lampredi left for Fiat. A group of engineers followed in that theme, and they continued to evolve that four-cylinder motor into a 2.5-liter and eventually a 3-liter. Now these were called the Testarosas, or the TR. Testarossa stood for redhead because the valve covers were actually red in color. These were dual overhead cam motors that had great performance potential. Now by 1957, this was the last year of the four-cylinders, Ferrari was focusing on the new 250 TR, which would be a 12-cylinder again. 19 TRCs were built. Now the TR obviously stands for Testarossa. The C was for Appendix C. In 1957, it was an obscure rule that was written into the FIA rulebook that said that you had to have a convertible top. So all TRCs were actually for Appendix C with a convertible. These cars looked funny with the convertible top, but it made them legal. Only 19 of these cars left the factory, this one here being the last one built. It's also a Scaglietti body, which is 3 inches lower than the previous body. Great looking car with the top down, top up. That's another story.
Well, the big four-cylinder was basically a 2-liter motor. It came with double overhead camshaft with roller cap and followers operating directly on an inclined valve. The valve springs were a hairpin style valve. Now, most of these cars came with 2 Pirelli distributors, 2 spark plugs per cylinder with a compression ratio of 8.75 to 1. Now, in preparation for a 57 Le Mans race, 706, which is the chassis number of this car, went back to be fitted with a special hot rod engine. The hot rod engine incorporated D4 D-stroke lower block of a Type 119 Monza engine, with the upper block of a Type 131C. The only TRC engine that features magnetos instead of distributors. As far as drivetrain went, it was a double drive plate clutch, which is a little aggressive when you start, but once you get used to it, transmission is a 4-speed all-synchro mesh. Rear axle is a live axle, gear ratio starting from 377 up to 457 to 1. With a 377, these cars were capable of 154 miles an hour.
By the time 706 was finished its racing career at the end of '59, it had become the most successful TRC in history. It had recorded 11 wins and 3 championships on 2 continents. It had been raced in some of the best-known circuits around the world, and this car here today has been completely restored as well. Now the restoration on this car was performed by RM. Part of the interior is still original, and it has some great patina. The wheels, same sort of deal. The paint, beautifully done. The body fit and finish, very, very nice. Under the hood, again, it has that original feel with some patina. This car is going to go on races like the Colorado Grand. It's going to go on many tours, and it's an exceptional, if you want to call it, patinaed restoration. Car like this, with only 19 of these built, being the last 4-cylinder Ferrari ever built, these cars here are worth somewhere between $1.3 and $1.5 million. Now it sounds expensive, but if you consider its 12-cylinder cousin, the 250 TR, they're now $8 million. This thing here is a bargain at that sort of number, and once people realize that 4-cylinder Ferraris are just as significant as the 12-cylinders, especially for racing championships, these cars will continue to go up in value and maybe someday come close to the 250 TR.